Electronisounds Audio, the YouTube channel for you.
You've spent hours perfecting your mix, but it just doesn't sound right when you play it anywhere else. Your room could be lying to you, and that's where the IK Multimedia ARC system comes in. Let's dive into what this is all about, how it works, and whether it's right for your setup. A room can have a big impact on how you hear your music. Walls, furniture, and other objects reflect and absorb sound, creating complex artifacts that change the frequency balance and stereo imaging, and can cause your carefully balanced mix to fall apart in other spaces. With ARC, you can detect and account for these issues. ARC precisely measures the sound of your room and then generates a correction profile that you can load into the ARC plugin for your DAW or the new ARC Studio hardware, which operates independently from your computer to ensure what you're hearing is how your music really sounds. The first thing we need to do is the room analysis. And to do that, we're going to need the ARC software from the IK Multimedia website. I've already got that downloaded and installed. Let's go ahead and get going. I'm going to click next here. And the first thing we need to do is just select which microphone we're using. I'm going to select the included IK ARC microphone and hit next. Now we're going to configure our audio interface so it knows what channel our microphone is plugged into, and that the ARC software knows that our audio interface is connected to the computer. We're going to go ahead and we can see that there's a level here. I do need to have phantom power turned on my audio interface to power the microphone. We're going to go ahead and click next here. And now we can choose what sort of a room setup we've got, whether we've got a project studio, a regular studio setup, maybe a wide setup where you've got a desk with two people, working at that desk, etc. I'm just going to pick the standard studio monitor spot for mine. We've got the speakers and the listening position set up in an equilateral triangle. I'm going to click next here, and it's going to show us that we need to have the speakers and our listening position set up in that equilateral triangle, and we need to have the correct positioning and height set up to our microphone, which is going to be even with the hole on your ear. I've done all of that, so we're going to go ahead and click next. Now we're going to get a play test and make sure that the ARC mic is receiving the proper level when we play the test signal. So we're going to go ahead and click. So you can see that I'm getting a level here on the software. I'm going to go ahead and click play test. We're going to hear a little whoop, whoop sound. That's the test signal that the system uses for the mic to measure the frequency response. All right, it's the correct level, and it's now got a check mark on the done. So it's got that level set for us. We're going to click next. And now we can decide whether we want to set it up in a quick mode and do 7 points of measurement around the room, or whether we want to set it up in an advanced mode and measure 21 different spots around the room. I really want my monitors to be as flat response frequency-wise as I can. So we're going to go ahead and attempt to do the 21-point measurement mode. I'm just going to switch over to a time lapse so you can see me going through that process. I'm going to hit next here, and it's going to let us know what height the microphone needs to be at for our first level of measurement. This is going to be layer 1, and it's letting us know that the mic for this round of measuring needs to be about 6 inches below where our ear, rests when we're in the listening position. I've already got the microphone set up in that exact height, about 6 inches from my ear in the listening position. So we're going to go ahead and start measuring layer 1. I'm going to skip over to the time lapse so you can see the process. I finished all 21 points of measurement, and the last page of the configuration app just allows us to choose an icon for our speakers and then give our analysis a name. I've just gone ahead and named mine Room Analysis 1, and now we go ahead and save that process. And we want to allow that to happen. Great, now we've got our first room analysis done. And the next step is just to transfer this analysis image over to the Arc Studio hardware. Let's give that a go. Now we need to load that analysis image that we just created using the analysis software into the Arc Studio hardware box. It's a different app here. This is just the Arc 4 app. And what we're going to do is we're going to load our measurement here on the bottom left where it says neutral. It already knows the room analysis that we just took. So we're going to go ahead and load that. And here's the analysis of my room. We're going to send the target to be just a flat. We've got other options here like standard control room, a lively room, a control room computer, etc. I'm just going to choose a flat frequency response. Now, the last option we have here is we can set some virtual monitors so that our speakers will perform in the way that some other speakers might perform and sound, including stuff like a smartphone or a little bookshelf speaker or some high-end three-way speakers. But we're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to leave that blank because I don't want any virtual monitoring. I just want to, monitor the setup that we're actually using with the speakers that I'm actually using. All I need to do now is we've got the Arc Studio hardware, selected up here where it needs to be selected. And I'm just going to go ahead and click Store, and it's going to sync that image into the Arc Studio hardware box. Then I just have to route the outputs from my audio interface into the inputs of this and the outputs from the Arc Studio hardware into my monitor speakers. And that way, anytime I run any audio from this computer, not just from a DAW, for example, but when I watch YouTube or, anything like that, or watch movies on Netflix, it's all going to be being sent through the Arc Studio and getting a much more balanced response, hopefully, from my monitor speakers. I'm going to check out this setup for a week or so, and then I'm going to check back in and let you know my thoughts on how it went. I've been using the Arc system daily for a little over 2 weeks now, and I can absolutely say without question that it has helped the accuracy and clarity of my monitor speakers. I took a few days to get used to the way that it changed the sound of my Yamaha HS8s, most noticeable to me in the mid and low mid frequencies, and then I wrote a full track from start to finish, so I could hear how that track would translate to other speakers when finished. Now, I'm not the world's best mixing engineer, and my mixes have a tendency to sound a little dull, and sometimes almost a bit muffled in the high frequencies and the high mid frequencies. But I was really happy with the way that this new track sounds on my other speaker systems. I feel like the mix sounded a bit brighter than my usual Mixdowns overall, and I'm really happy with the way that you can hear each individual instrument in the track in its own sonic space. I'm confident that the Arc system helped me produce a better sounding mix than I would have gotten without it. With a result like this, I would definitely recommend the Arc system to anyone who is looking to get a more clear, defined, and accurate sound from their monitor speakers. It was really easy to get set up and configure, and I'm looking forward to continue producing with monitors that are giving such an honest representation of the music I'm creating. Lastly, I'm going to put a link to this system on Amazon in the video description if you want to check out one for your studio space. It is an affiliate link that helps to support the channel and doesn't cost you any extra. Big thanks to IK Multimedia for making this video possible, and big thanks to you for watching if you've made it to the end. Until next time, my friends, take care of each other.